Hey, welcome to the April 27th Thursday chat. We've got a few announcements before we get to Matt, and then after Matt, don't go away because Anna Marcus, who's president of the NMA, is going to give a 7-minute quarterly summary of the activity of our association. We'll start with Elaine Canningsburg. Go ahead.
Thank you, Justin. I just want to remind everybody or tell you about the trivia day that's happening Saturday, May 6th at 2 o'clock. I think it's going to be in Great Meadow Hall. It's one of the monthly gatherings of residents to do something fun and different and have a good time. So please put that on your calendar, 2 o'clock, Saturday, May 6th. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. New Rochelle.
Here we go. This is my last reminder about the paperback book collection being done by the Outreach Committee. And that's going to take place between the 8th and the 11th of May. And there will be a box by the waterfall in Nosh, or give me a call and we'll arrange pickup. Thank you.
Thank you. Judy Rosenberg.
Is Judy there? If she's not, let me step in for her.
You're just going to say, go ahead, Michael.
This is a reminder, we are in the midst of our Spring Appreciation Fund drive. Our employees do an awful lot to make our community everything it is. And it's an opportunity for us to say thank you to them. We do not tip, as everyone knows. And this is our way of really doing something nice to help them. I'd love to see us hit the 100% mark for participation in this. If you haven't remembered yet, please do. We look forward to your participation. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Michael. Mary Jane Milner. Wait a minute, you have to be unmuted. Hold it, I'll do it. Go ahead. You can.
Okay, I just wanted to say it was wonderful to see so many of you at last Friday's Earth Day celebration. Most of the audience agreed that Gretchen Carey's talk on the proper and efficient ways to recycle was just terrific. I'm sorry we did not tape the lecture from start to finish. It was clear, concise, chock full with information on best recycling practices. But we do have good news here. Gretchen has sent us a link to a talk she delivered in Wakefield that covers almost the same material. Conferring with Matt regarding next steps, Matt and I agree that offering the link to this Wakefield talk for our Newbridge residents Google group will be a helpful step for the community. So I'll take that step immediately following our Zoom. An additional post Gretchen's lecture, following her very clear advice, Newbridge will replace the Republic signage now in each of the trash rooms with the clear, more concise signage from Massachusetts Recycles. Additionally, an 8.5 by 11-inch copy of that sign will be placed in each resident's mailbox for posting in one's kitchen as a handy way to check out proper recycling. As always, thank you, Newbridge, for working together as we put into practice sound conservation measures. Are there any questions?
Anybody? Raise your hand. Oh, Matt Hollingshead. Go ahead.
Not normal one for questions, but more of a clarification. In the spirit of being green, the recycling flyer will be attached to my letter tomorrow. It will not be in mailboxes. If you do need a printed copy, please let us know. But the whole spirit of staying green is to not litter our planet with paper that we don't need. So it'll be there electronically for you tomorrow attached to my letter. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Great correction.
Okay. All right. Larissa Levitch.
Thank you, Jerry. Good afternoon. First of all, I'm still smiling thinking about Israel Independence Day celebration that I was so privileged to have spent with all of you. It was so much joy to see people enjoying the company of each other, feeling like a community, dancing and singing. So thank you so much for including me in this wonderful celebration. So I'd like to mention two things today, only two, Jerry. So tonight we have a really very special performance that I'd like to encourage those of you who love period instruments to join. As many of you know, Boston is actually a hub for the ensembles who perform on period instruments. We are the place for International Boston Early Music Festival. We're the home for Handel and Kind Society and Boston Baroque Orchestra. Well, I cannot really bring an orchestra, but what I'm so privileged to bring tonight is the musicians of Old Post Road. Many of the musicians actually performed with either Boston Baroque or Handel and Haydn, and they're coming tonight for a very special performance to make it really exciting. They're bringing their own harpsichord. So I hope that many of you will come and will enjoy this very special program. And another thing that I wanted to mention is many of you reached out to me in the past saying that they would appreciate some meditation offerings. And I know many of you still remember in the past, one of our residents who is not with us anymore, used to offer meditation sessions on Saturdays. So thanks to our own Bonnie Rosenberg, starting next week, we are gonna offer meditation sessions every Thursday from 1 to 2 o'clock in the aerobic studio. I met the coach, and the only regret that I have is that I cannot really join you. She seems so caring, such a good soul. But if her soul is not enough, I'd like to read a little bit of her credentials. She's the founder of the Mindful Meditation. She holds meditation and mindfulness teaching certifications from the Kripalu School of Mindful Outdoor Leadership and many other things. So I do hope that you will give it a try. The way she explained it to me, you don't have to come every time. You can come once a month, you can come every other week. It's on your own term. You're always welcome. Once again, it's gonna happen on Thursdays from 1 to 2 in aerobic studio. And every time I bring something new, I'd love to hear from you. So please let me know how it goes. Any questions?
Charlie Small, you have a question?
No question. Since Larissa mentioned the golden anniversary of Israel's independence, it gave me a golden opportunity to just say thank you to the community life staff, to the food and beverage staff, and all the staff for all they do. It was a fantastic evening, followed up by an ice cream social. We are lucky and blessed to have them all. So I wanted to publicly say thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlie. The pleasure is ours. You're really a unique community, and we're so privileged to be part of it. Thank you so much.
Terrific. Tara Fleming.
Probably is just I was putting my vitamins in my mouth, multitasking. So there are about 2,500 steps in a mile. And I'm telling you that because if you want to join the campus internal tour next Thursday from 10 to 11, you can get your steps in. We had our pilot run of this internal walk around campus a few weeks ago. We had a great time. People got to meet new friends and learn things about the campus that they didn't know. So meet at the bottom of the Nosh steps, bring your Apple Watches, track your steps, and join us for a mile. Thank you.
That's not the wrong one. I always get the wrong thing.
That's all right. I see you, Roz. Go ahead.
I just want to ask about that meditation class again. When did you say it was, Larissa? She disappeared?
Okay, just 1 second. So it is every Thursday, starting May 4th, from 1 to 2 o'clock. I have to tell you, one of the challenges was to find a free spot in our very busy calendar. I spent tons of time trying to not to conflict with a lot of things. So from 1 to 2 every Thursday, we're gonna try to do it in an aerobics studio. And when the weather is good, we're actually thinking of doing it outdoors.
What studio is that? Robert Studio.
Aerobics, I mean, the one, is no, looking at Tara laughing, I now understand that I pronounce it wrong. So Tara, help me.
It's the aerobic studio in the gym.
Aerobics. Thank you so much. Guys, remember, it's okay to help me.
The aerobic studio.
It takes a village. That's why I love this community.
Terrific. Oh, so Bonnie, go ahead.
I'm just going to put in a plug. I've been working with Lisa for many years now, and anybody who might be hesitant, just don't pay attention to the hesitancy and show up. I promise you, you will be hooked. And everybody proceeds at their own speed, and she is just fabulous. So come and see us on Thursday.
Thank you. Rhonda Gleiman.
Thank you, Jerry, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to share with you a role change for one of our longtime, very beloved employees, David Rader, who has accepted a full-time role within our sales and marketing department here at Newbridge. He will still be here at Newbridge. You will see him regularly, and I just want to share with you a little bit of background on David and what this new role will entail. So David started in 2009, I think about 2 months after we opened Newbridge, and really was such a pillar of the community life team throughout. He started as the program manager, then he became co-director of community life, then director of community life, and it expanded to both independent and assisted living. And he's done a remarkable job working with a very high-performing team, as you all know. And about a year ago, he was asked by the sales and marketing team to assist with some tours for prospective residents because one of our sales team members was out on maternity leave. And it turned out he did such a good job and received rave reviews, even from secret shoppers, that last fall, he started splitting his time, half time with the sales and marketing role and half time with the director of community life role, and continued to do such a great job, really differentiating Newbridge. And so many prospective residents understood the quality of community life, the type of community life we offer here, and many more decided to come much more quickly. So the sales and marketing team has asked that he come full-time, which he's excited about and we're excited about for him. He'll still be part of the community life team and very engaged there. So, that connection will be strong. And he'll spend his time offering tours to prospective residents. The title is Advisor of Prospect and New Resident Experience. And so he'll be doing the tours, but he'll also assist with onboarding of new residents because he'll know them so well, working through the process, that it'll be a very smooth process working with Mark Lejeski and others on the team. And he'll be able to listen to what people from the community are looking for in our community and really keep us cutting edge. This is really quite a competitive advantage, we believe, because most communities like ours don't have someone with such deep community life experience in the sales and marketing role. With that, relatedly, As you know, Jess Coleman has been promoted to Associate Executive Director here. So very happy she's accepted the responsibility. She'll be managing the community life team, which is already very, very, again, high performing team. She'll be directly managing the team. So it will be a very smooth transition. And for those of you who come to David's weekly current events group, he will be continuing to lead that, and you'll still see him on a regular basis. So please join me in congratulating David when you see him, and also Jess Coleman. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Oh, by the way, this change is becoming effective on Monday, May 1st. So any comments or questions?
Yeah. Oh, I guess you did a complete job. So thank you, Rhonda.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, we're ready for you, Matt. Oh,
Wow. Okay. I think this is record time. Usually it's a few minutes later. I want to start by, first of all, acknowledging David and all of his great work. David, thank you so much. And Jessica, thank you for stepping up. We're really excited about the new direction. And, as I think about the vision for the community, I really think about it as a community. And a community is a group of people that work together to make a phenomenal space for one another. And there really is no better person to be welcoming new residents into the community and sharing what this environment is all about. So in a way, it kind of gives us the opportunity through David to interview people before they even come in, to make sure that they're a cultural fit and they're about what our community is about. So it's really exciting, and it fits nicely into the vision of who we are as a group of individuals together. So David, congratulations. And along the same note, I have really mixed emotions when I share this gratitude, but I want to publicly say thank you to Joel. Tomorrow is Joel's last day with us. He has been absolutely instrumental, as you all know, in supporting our dining services program here. Joel has stepped up time and time again. He has very deep relationships, not only with you all, but with a lot of our employees. And so Joel, from me to you, I just want to wish you the very best and publicly say thank you for everything you've done for Newbridge. You will always have a home here. So when you're ready to come back, you pick up that phone and come on back. So, but I sincerely just want to say thank you. So thank you.
Matt. Thank you, everybody. It's been a labor of love. I really have enjoyed my time here. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Joel. Moving on, May 1st seems like the day. So David takes his new role on May 1st. On May 1st, masks are coming off for employees working here in independent living. Again, as a reminder, if you want the employees to put their masks on before entering your apartment, please just request they do so. They should be carrying masks with them just in case that request comes up. May 1st is also the beginning of a project that we've been working on in the background quite a bit, which is the life cycle renovation for the villas. So both the North and South Villa, starting on Monday, May 1st, a full life cycle renovation will be taking place. And what that means is carpeting, all their floor coverings, furniture, walls, millwork, all of that is being redone. The villas have not been touched since the community has been opened, and it hasn't had much of a capital investment since the community has been opened. It also gives us a nice opportunity to work through this process with a small population of residents and learn from our mistakes. Sorry, villa folks, but you drew the short straw on that one. But it's already been beneficial because we've identified, with the help of Paul Blass and the NMA, some gaps in our communication. And so it's a lot easier to clean up those mistakes with the folks living in the villas than it is with, let's say, the 4,000 building. So it's very strategic as to why we're starting with the villas. There's going to be a document coming out with frequently asked questions for those folks living in the villas that go through all the details. And additionally, there was a Zoom chat that was held with the residents to understand what has been going on. I'd like to thank Peter Halfon, Fernando Rodriguez, and the residents of the villas for being involved in this process. It's not the kind of thing where you just one day get up and say, we're going to renovate, let's go for it. This takes months and months and months of planning. We're using Perkins Eastman, who is the designer. And if that name sounds familiar, they designed Newbridge. I would say they got about 85 to 90% of it right to begin with. And the things they didn't get right, they have certainly learned what they didn't get right because they've heard from us for the last 14 years. So we're excited to begin this project. And for those of you living in the villa, thank you very much for your patience. Construction is never fun, but we're looking forward to it. And I just want to invite Fernando to add anything that you think I may have missed when it comes to the villa renovation.
No, I think you pretty much covered it all, Matt. It's starting on Monday, and we hope it should be a nice, smooth transition into getting this done. So the only thing I will say is the furniture is still, you know, a month or two out. So all the painting, flooring, and all that will be done. And then when the furniture comes in, we'll be swapping it out. And just for those who are wondering, the old furniture, which is actually in pretty good shape, that's all going to be donated to a company called My Brother's Keeper. They will take that and give it to people who are in need. So just so you know.
Thank you, Fernando. And just so everybody knows, similar to the concept of having a landscape master plan, the plan is for each year to work in a different building. And then when you work through all of the buildings, you start again and you keep going. And so it's called a life cycle renovation, and it's a life cycle master plan is really what we're calling it. And I've mentioned this all to you before. I'm not good when it comes to one-off requests bouncing around the community. I'm very good when I plan. And so if I don't plan, you know, good luck to all of us. So part of my strength is planning, and what we're doing here is we're planning to go building by building. And I believe next up, Fernando, is the 5,000 building, and we'll be tackling that next year.
Correct.
So keep the party going. We're having a good time. So Monday, May 1st, a lot going on. It's a big day. I also want to mention, just so everybody knows, from a COVID standpoint, we're doing excellent. There are no COVID positive cases in independent living. The Commonwealth continues to see a significant decline in cases. There is no area of high risk or even moderate risk right now in the Commonwealth. Currently, there's 15 cases per 100,000 people. So that's about as low as we've seen in a long time. And over the last 14 days, that means that it's down 43%. So right now, from a risk standpoint, we're doing quite well. And then lastly, I just want to give another shout out to Mary Jane Milner for her incredible work with the Earth Day event. That was absolutely spectacular. It was amazing. I don't think individuals realize how much is actually happening here on this campus. And it was phenomenal to be in a room and actually see all that's happening. I did make one announcement that I was very excited to make, and that is we've begun the process of transitioning our internal combustion engine vehicle fleet over to electric vehicles. We have a Tesla Model Y coming our way for next month, likely, and you'll see that in service as one of our livery vehicles to help transport folks to doctor's appointments and wherever else they're going. It makes a lot of sense for us. Obviously, it's terrific on fuel. It reduces our carbon footprint and increases our productivity from an operational standpoint, because it takes time to go to gas stations and it takes time to go to the mechanic. So we're very much looking forward to the future.
Man, I want to just add that for Earth Day, it truly was a team effort from all the presenters to all of the help with publicity, to getting the sound going, to having the popcorn, to really having the vision, and to, for 10 years now, build up all that we're doing in terms of conservation caretaking on this campus. And it was very exciting to see it all come together, and miles to go. So I look forward to the partnership. Thank you.
Same here. Thank you. And with that, I'll take questions before we move on.
Barbara Nadich.
Matt, is there any thought or are there any plans for bringing the COVID booster to Newbridge, or should we be looking to do it on our own?
Great question. You know what, Barbara? I should have probably answered that question during my COVID phase. So thank you. We, meaning David Rader right now, is in contact with Dedham Pharmacy to come on site and do a booster clinic. They're going to be on site next week specifically for assisted living. And we're in process talking with Leanne from Dedham Pharmacy to come here and provide a clinic. Once we have the details, we will let you know, but you are not on your own. If you are really eager and want to get it sooner than later, you can certainly go to a CVS or a Walgreens or your local physician, but we will indeed be offering a clinic here on site in the very near future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt, thanks for clarifying. I want to let everybody know that I've given Dedham Pharmacy 4 different dates. They're all in the second half of May. It's either going to be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So stay tuned. I just don't have that date confirmed, but we've been through this before. So once we get that date, we'll get the word out and allow people to start signing up for times.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Okay, Mitch Freeman, don't forget, David, we don't want to have a program competing opposite the short time on Thursday afternoon.
I know. It's most likely going to be on a Tuesday now that I know that we have meditation also on Thursday.
Okay, Jerry, don't you worry. I'm not gonna let him do that. I stay on guard of our commitments.
We can broadcast live from the clinic.
Well, in all honesty, guys, trying to get Great Meadow Hall has actually been an impossible situation for May because of all the programs and things we have going on. So we're actually thinking that the clinic is actually going to take place in the aerobics studio this year, which I think will be a perfect location for it.
Okay, thanks. Mitch Freeman, go ahead.
Matt, have you ever thought of running another blood drive?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. So HSL has been spearheading it, and I can't remember who took ownership of it, but there is a staff member, I think maybe Christina?
Yep.
So,
we are planning right now, Mitch, for September 7th, but more details to come. We're in the very early stages, but September 7th, we'll have one here at Newbridge.
Do you know how much blood you collected on the last one?
I was not involved in that one, so I don't know the answer, but I can certainly get back to you about that.
Mitch, I know it was a lot. I knew there was only like 2 open slots throughout the entire day.
I can comment on that. I was involved in working. It was actually Phyllis Hirsch's idea last time around, and there were nearly 40 residents that donated blood. So important, obviously, to save a life. Thank you.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Matt.
That's it for me. So without any other questions, I'll pass it back to you, Jerry.
Okay, any other questions before we leave Matt and go to have a report from Anna Marcus? Okay, go ahead, Anna. It's interesting. We have about as many people as we've ever had, and yet we're going to get through the meeting in half an hour, a little over, because you're going to be 7 minutes. Go ahead. Wait a minute. I'll unmute you. You're all set. Go ahead.
I'll try to make it short and sweet. This is a quarterly report from the Newbridge Members Association Council. First, I want to say the main purpose of the Members Council is to facilitate communication between the residents on one side and the department heads, executive director, and administration on the other side. I see this as a kind of a Mobius strip, a figure 8 with an open inside where the council sits. At floor meetings, residents provide us they talk to us and we pass on information to department heads and to Matt. And residents can always talk to me or to their floor rep if they prefer to do that. Now that you have voted to increase the council to 9 reps, that's my Alexa, sorry. Now that you've voted to increase the council to 9 reps, each floor, the cottages and the villas all have a rep for individual floor meetings. The council has spent a good deal of time discussing what makes for a good floor meeting and how to improve our listening and communication skills so that residents feel heard and responded to. And we want to know which department heads you want to hear from or give information to. During these last 3 months, this quarter, we've also gathered a lot of information from Matt and the department heads to bring to our floor meetings. And we have asked the department heads how we, the residents, can help them so that it goes back and forth, the communication. Specifically, our council meetings, we have met with the following people. First, Sheila Waxman from Sales. She told us about the in-depth process of meetings with potential residents and the process of allotting apartments. She, like all department heads, is happy to come to your floor meetings. For Matt Fernando, Director of Environmental Services, and Benita Ross, the head of the Resident Landscaping Committee, came to our council meeting together to tell us about their collaborative work. We learned they have a landscaping master plan, which includes everything from repairing the damage done by the previous snow plowing people to planning their long-term work with a horticulturist. Their challenges include irrigation, finding deer and drought-resistant plantings. We know you'd like more color, but it's not always possible. The deer like it too. Vic Furtado in security and his amazingly trained staff have come to our meetings too. They have held CPR workshops and plan to have another risk reduction and more or less self-defense workshop, which we had earlier in the year. And the front door is now locked by Mary whenever she has to leave her desk. Sarah Grondell, the head of housekeeping, has come to our meetings and talked about what are reasonable expectations for residents. You've heard that Mary Jane Milner has worked with Fernando on environmental issues. And last chat, you heard from the medical department about the changes there. I'm not going to repeat them. At our May meeting, we're having Lori Feldman, and I forgot, have had updates on Third Plus from Josh and from Matt. P.S. Copper Beach has the walk-in restaurant has been a huge success, has cut down on the reservation process, and we have Mario to thank for manning that so well. Finance, which is Paul Hardiman from the Finance Committee and Carol Johnson, who is the Vice President of the Finance Department. They're coming in June and reporting on the first quarter finances. Finally, I want to thank the incredible work of the Hospitality, Scholarship, and Appreciation Committees. They do so much for us and for the staff, and with tremendous success and cooperation. Finally, we, the council, are working on our bylaws and have discussed the possibility of bylaws for the committees that don't yet have them, to ensure that there's a rotation of leadership on the resident committees and that there's an ability for new people to get on committees. Pickleball has gone down the tubes. It's too dangerous and too noisy. Fire drills will replace the noise. We will be having them. Remember to know where your nearest exit is. And that's all from me for this quarter. And thanks to all the council members who show up once a month and really participate as colleagues on the committee.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. Let's see, we have some questions. So first Blanche Alter and then Marilyn Stone. Just a moment, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you unmute me?
Yep.
So we moved so quickly that I didn't get a chance to make my point previously. You were talking about having blood draws. Can you send out ahead of time some guidance about the weight of the person who's going to be donating? Because otherwise we're wasting everybody's time if people show up like me who don't weigh enough to give blood.
Thank you, Blanche. I'll be sure to do that.
Thank you. So,
Sorry.
no,
Christine, you take care of that? Thank you.
Yes.
okay, Marilyn Stone.
Anna, that was great, but I wondered, in order to make the members feel more connected to the council, would it be possible for you to either or do both? Publish an agenda and then the minutes of your meeting. That way we know what is happening and maybe we have some advice to give the council, or something is going on that the council doesn't know, isn't aware of. Would that be possible?
Anna.
Marilyn, at this point, the bylaws that were originally written say that the council meetings are closed and confidential. That's something to be taken under advisement.
What about the minutes? Their council,
The minutes are also confidential because of everything that's discussed.
something is wrong, Anna, because that's an open council meeting and maybe we'll have to change the bylaws because that is really something that members should be aware of. It's their lives that we're talking about.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, well, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye, everyone.